Hi guys, welcome back. So today I thought that I would show you guys some of my favorite makeup, and this is something that I've gotten a few questions about, is what kind of stuff do I use, what are the things that I look for when I'm looking at makeup. And so I thought I would do just a short little video to show you some of the stuff that I use on a daily basis, so that you guys can get an idea of just kind of like what I use, what I like, what brands I like. I think a lot of you will know that by now, but we can talk about like color quality and stuff like that. So I think we're gonna start with eyeshadows, and I'm pretty sure that I've already showed you all of the palettes and most of the colors that I'm gonna show you, but let me show you anyway. So this is one of my favorite palettes. This is the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary palette, and it's got some really pretty colors. Look, a camera. So we've got all of these really pretty colors. I like to find a palette that has a lot of deep hues in it, because deep hues are, if you can find one that'll stick really nicely, and you can find a brand that you like that has deep hues that stay true to shade and don't turn either muddy, gray, or black, then you found a good brand and you should stick with it. And that's one of the things I really like about everything from Kat Von D. I guess now it's KVD Vegan Beauty, but this is back when it was Kat Von D. I really like almost everything eyeshadow from this brand. I always recommend it. So this is one of the things that I do use a lot. I like the color quality in here is just great, and we've got a really nice variation of color. I like to use, I mean, obviously I like to use a lot of colors. Right now I have purple and green. I don't know how well you can see it in this lighting, but I do have purple and green on. And I'll do a lot of like greens with blues, purples with greens, oranges with, sometimes I'll do oranges with purples too. That's a really fun combination. I know some people think of that as kind of a Halloween combination, but I think they actually go together really well. Oranges and browns also go really nicely together. Reds and oranges to make like a fall colors, stuff like that. So I try to look for one that's got a nice variation between, look, you can see my orange chair. Look at this lovely orange chair in the mirror. So I look for a nice variation between mattes and shimmers, because you don't always want a shimmer, but you don't always want a matte either. You want a nice combination of everything. Another one that I'm not sure that I've showed you before, because I don't use it as often, but a really good brand to check out is Urban Decay's Naked line. This is Naked Cherry, and I'm going to take the brush out so it's not making noise at me. But so these are all in the same color family, and this is another thing that I do actually look for a lot. If I'm looking for one specific shade that I want to play with, if I can find a palette that has a lot of tones in that color family, that's something that I will probably end up getting, because in this case I was really playing with pinks and reds, and I needed kind of more to round out my repertoire of what I had and what I could play with on my eyes. So when Urban Decay came out with this one, it was like, oh, okay, well here now I have all of these shades that I can play with to complement and enhance the colors I already have. So I try not to look at it as, here's a palette of eyeshadow, now you have to stick with this palette, you can't use anything else, you can't mix, you have to do one palette. I don't do that. I'm more of a, so I'm going to use this color out of this palette, and I'll use this single shade over here, and this color out of this palette, and this color out of this palette. I like to mix and match. I like to play with my makeup. As you guys have seen, I like to just kind of experiment, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if you're the kind of person who doesn't have time and you want to find a single palette that has everything you need, then I would recommend something more like the Kat Von D palettes, because they do have such a nice variation of shades in there, and it's not just pinks or just nudes or just a single thing. Like, there are some nudes in here, but then you've got the nice vivid green and the nice vivid blue and the teal and these nice shimmers. You've got options with this, but you can do, I don't know, I think I've come up with 10 or 12 different looks where I've just used this. So that is definitely something to consider if you don't really do your makeup that often and you just want like something quick and easy. Find a palette that has a ton of color variation. If you're the kind of person who really only likes to stay within one color family, then for sure just get something like the Urban Decay Cherry that's just pinks. If you're just happy with pinks and you're comfortable with pinks, then just do pinks. Me, like I said, I like to mix and match. So the last palette I'm going to show you is the Alchemist palette, also from KVD Vegan Beauty. And all of the colors in here are holographic. I really like holographic eyeshadows. I will usually put them in the inner corners. I have brown eyes, obviously, and doing a light color in your inner corner just makes your eye look bigger and brighter, and no matter what else you put on the rest of your eyelid, I find that it tends to just brighten everything and highlight everything and just kind of like bring your whole look together. So I really like holographic eyeshadows. I think I have 3 of this palette just because I really like all of these shades. There's a emerald, amethyst, sapphire, and a pink opal. And it's one that I will use, let's see, in a week I probably will use it 4 or 5 times. And I do my makeup every day. So 4 or 5 days out of the week, I will use a shade or 2 out of the Alchemist palette. That is how often I use it, and that is how versatile I think it is. Because it's got all 4 of these shades, it's got really something that'll go with almost any look that you're doing, even if you're doing like a fall leaves look, like you're doing the oranges and the yellows. Putting the pink opal as a highlight just works. It makes everything pop. It makes everything just a little bit shimmery, and I love it. So this is one that I highly recommend. It is, I believe it is discontinued, so it is currently on clearance on the Kat Von D website. If you like it, I will leave a link in the description box. You can go check it out for yourselves. But so those are my thoughts on palettes. Those are 3 of the ones that I use the most often. I have another Kat Von D one, that metal matte one, I'm pretty sure I've shown it to you guys before, that also has a really nice color variation. So if you can find something like that, I think that's probably your best bet if you don't want to get singles. But I have really gotten into eyeshadow singles lately, and so now I'm going to show you a few of those, and most of them are from the same brand. We'll show you the ones that are from different brands first. So I have an Urban Decay here, and this is called Chaos. I don't know if it's still available because I got it at Marshall's, but this is a super vivid blue that I use all the time. And this is a really good example of one of the things that I look for in an eyeshadow single, and that is pigmentation. I look for something that's going to have a lot of color payoff, and this one really does. It does have a lot of fallout as well. I haven't yet found a way to prevent fallout with it, but it's only during application, and then it's fine. It'll stick the rest of the day as long as you have a good eyeshadow primer on. But this one has an amazing color payoff. Let me see if I can do a little swatch for you. It's super vivid, super bright, and it is one that I will probably use at least once a week. So I've got a little towel. Get that off my arm. The other brand, again, that I love always is Kat Von D. This color is not available from them anymore, but if you can find something similar to it, then I would highly recommend it. It's just a lime green. It's a little bit more on the yellowy side, but this one, again, is really nicely pigmented. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but it is really nicely pigmented. That is actually what I have in my inner corners today. And the thing that I really like about this one is it is super pigmented, but you can also like buff it out and make it really light and just like a nice light green shimmer, which I think is really nice, really handy, and just a really fun thing you can do with this kind of shade. I know a lot of people are scared of the colors like the lime greens and the vivid blues, but really, even if you just use it sparingly, you come up with some really pretty looks. You don't have to do something as loud and out there as a lot of what I do. You don't have to do something super crazy. You don't have to get too experimental. You can just put a little bit of blue in your outer corners just to see how it looks. You can just put a little bit of green in your inner corners or as a highlight under your eyebrows just to see how it looks. And if you hate it, it's makeup, take it off. No big deal. The last eyeshadow brand that I'm going to show you is one that I have shown you a lot of recently, and that's Concrete Minerals. And I've gotten some new colors again. So I've got these 4 are from their, what's it called? Mineral line. So I've got a purple. This one is called Nightmare. I have a green called Psycho Holiday. I have a orange called Napalm. And I have a coral called Orion Scroll. And I chose these 4 in particular to show you because they all have a really nice color payoff. They're all super different, but they all go together and separate really, really well. And so that's something, again, that, like I said, I highly recommend it if you can find something that has a really nice color payoff and doesn't have a lot of fallout, go for it. The only one of these that I have noticed has some fallout is Orion's Girl, that coral shade. But once you get the hang of applying the Concrete Minerals eyeshadows, you just, trust me, you won't want to go back. It's like a pat and then swipe, or else it's all fallout. But once you get the hang of it, these guys have some of the best color payoff. And they're just, they stick beautifully. They stay all day. I never have issues with them. And they're a mostly natural brand, so even if I get a little bit of eyeshadow in my eye, it's not a big deal. Like, my eye is just like, oh, okay, that's fine. Or if I get even an Urban Decay eyeshadow in my eye freaks out. So the last 2 from them, these 2 are from their matte line. And I've got a red and a hot pink. And both of these have super amazing color payoff. The pink is so nice and such a high payoff of color that it will actually stick to my eyelids after I take the eyeshadow off. But yeah, I hope that helps you guys to kind of figure out what exactly to look for. I would highly recommend Concrete Minerals because you just get singles from them, or you can get sets, but it's a set of singles. So if you are one of those people who mostly has palettes like the Urban Decay ones where it's just one shade, you can get stuff from places like Concrete Minerals. So you could get like Orion Squirrel to complement some of the shades in here, or you could get Napalm to complement some of the shades in here. It makes it more interesting, and it adds a lot of variation to what you can do with your makeup. So that's something that I do recommend, even if you are a person who prefers palettes. Get a few eyeshadow singles and just make yourself play with them. I know you'll have to make yourself play with them because I used to be one of those people who only did palettes. And in the last few months, since getting a ton of eyeshadow singles, I have been completely converted, and now I will use palettes to grab a couple of colors out or a couple of base colors, and then I will use all of the singles that I need to get the exact look that I want. So that's the really nice thing with singles. You can get exactly what you're looking for, and you don't have to find a palette that has all the colors you need. You can just get what you need. So then I thought I would show you just a couple of the eyeliner brands that I use, just to kind of show you a little bit of what I'm looking for. So I use 2 liquid eyeliners. As you know, they are both from Kat Von D. This one is the Dagger Tattoo Liner. It is my favorite. I'm pretty sure they're discontinuing it, so I have several. I was worried because it's been on clearance for a really long time, so I bought lots of it, and they're all just, I'm hoarding them. I'll get through them eventually, but for now, I'm hoarding. The nicest liquid eyeliners by far are from KVD Vegan Beauty. I use Dagger Tattoo Liner, and I use the ink liner. I use the ink liner to draw the heart. And the ink liner is really precise and really clean, where the tattoo liner, you can kind of be a little bit more playful with how you're applying. And that was the thing I really liked with Dagger, was that it's got a chisel tip. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so it's got a chisel tip instead of just a flat tip. So you could do like the super thin stroke, or you could do a wide stroke with it. And it was really easy and super fun, and I'm really hoping they bring it back. But that's what I use for liquid eyeliners. I know a lot of people have trouble with liquid eyeliners, but once you get the hang of it, it's super easy, I promise. Aside from that, I have 3 other brands here that I use. My everyday black eyeliner, I use Styla. That's this guy. He's just a twist up one. Super basic, but it's a really nice eyeliner, and I'm able to do the cat eye look with this eyeliner, and I haven't had any issues with it. I will usually not, and this sounds odd, but I'll usually not use a liquid eyeliner to do the cat eye, because if my eyes get watery, it'll just flake right off. So if I use something like a pencil, it'll stay, and it'll stay a lot better. The other brand that I have used in the past, and I don't know if they're still good, I haven't really looked into them for a while. I think the company was sold and it was just a whole kerfuffle. But the other brand that I have used a lot is Julep. These are 2 of my favorite shades from them. It's a silver and a like aqua teal. Electric teal shimmer is what it's called. But these are really good for adding a pop of color to your eyeshadow. Even if you don't want to add color to your eyeshadow, you can add it with your liner. So this is something that I do recommend if you're just kind of delving into playing with colors. Eyeliners are a good way to start, because you can just add a little pop of whatever color under your eye, and it just looks real cute. Lastly, I have Urban Decay, and these are the 24/7 Glide On eye pencils. These are just 3 of the colors I have. They were the first 3 that I saw. But these also work really well. I don't recommend using them in your waterline. That was the thing I didn't mention, my Styla. I will use in my waterline, and it does wonderfully. The Urban Decay ones I wouldn't recommend using in the waterline, because they are quite soft, and I had one that I got for use in my waterline, and I think I went through that pencil in about a month, and I don't like doing that. A lot of these guys, because I only use it down here, or I'll just like the green, I really only use in the inner corner on the bottom. It lasts forever. It lasts a really long time. I know they're a little bit expensive, but they last a really long time, and I think that it's worth it to add a little bit of color into my looks, even if I didn't really have a lot of color in my eyeshadow. So there's that. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you a few of my lipsticks, and I'm only going to show you my fun colors. I guess I have a couple of basic colors, but mostly I'm going to show you my fun colors and some of the brands that I use. You'll recognize them again. This one is from Bite. This is a opal. This is actually what I have on. So it's just a white stick that's got that like holographic shimmer to it. And I mix it with this guy from Anastasia Beverly Hills that is also just like an opal-y holographic shimmer gloss that I'll put on top of all sorts of stuff. This guy I really recommend if you can find it. The shade is Moon Jelly. If you can find this, I highly recommend it, because what I'll do with this guy a lot of the time is I'll get a lip liner and I'll line my full bottom lip and a little bit of my upper lip, and then I'll apply this to kind of like blend it all in together, and I end up with really fun, really soft, very unique shades. And again, I really like to do fun, unique shades with my lips. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. But the lip gloss is still really cute on its own. It's just a basic clear white with a little bit of shimmer. And it does not taste bad, so there's that. Then for other glosses, I've got Smashbox. You're not gonna be able to see the name on there because it's black on purple, but I think I've worn this one for a video before, and it's just a super pretty, vivid purple. It sticks really well. It's really very comfortable to have on. Same with the Anastasia. I have several colors from those. This is my fun color from them, but I have some like nude shades and natural shades that I'll wear for every day. But it's very, very comfortable. It does smear a little bit because, again, it is lip gloss, not lipstick, so it will just naturally smear, but it doesn't smear terribly, and I still find it to be very worth the color payoff. This guy I wore in a video, I think. This one's also from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is also a gloss. This is Vamp. It's just like a medium red. And again, it is just super duper comfortable. And this is one that I could wear all day if I didn't have to wear a mask. I don't like the masks, guys. They mean you can't wear fun lipstick. But yeah, so those are probably those are definitely the most comfortable ones that I have out. So those would be brands that I would highly recommend if you're just looking for comfort and basic colors. Smashbox, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and Bite. Bite has really, really nice shades. I just haven't gotten anything except for this one for whatever reason. Then I've got a couple more Anastasia colors. This one is a lipstick called Insomniac. And I know I've worn this one for a video because it's super fun. This is like a bright teal aqua. And I will usually mix it with this other Anastasia Beverly Hills color, which is a liquid lipstick called Requiem. And this one is a matte lipstick, so it's not as comfortable, and it does tend to dry your lips out over time. But if you're only going to be wearing it for a little while, do it. These two look super nice together. I really like them. I will, at some point, maybe the next time I do a makeup tutorial, I'll show you how I do multiple colors in a look. I've got black. I feel like everyone needs to have a black. I'm probably wrong. But if you're into the fun colors and you want to do really fun, dramatic lipsticks, get a black and get it from KVD. You can get a lipstick or a liquid lipstick from them in black. This one's their liquid lipstick. I'm pretty sure that I've showed it to you on the channel before. And again, it is a matte shade, so it can be fairly drying, but it is also super pretty, and it does last really well, so I do recommend it. And I also have Echo in that same line, and this is like a midnight blue. I don't wear as often, but, and this will surprise you, I wear it with this shade. I wear these two a lot. I will do where it kind of looks, let me try to explain this. I'll do blue on this half of this lip and this half of this lip, and then pink and pink, and like blend them into each other, so it's like fade in and fade out, and it looks really, really, really cool if you can get it right, and if you get it wrong, it looks stupid. But I'll see if I can show you how I do that one of these times too, because I think you guys would really enjoy that. So the last thing that I have to show you, and I'm pretty sure these are both on clearance on the Kat Von D website, are the Everlasting Glimmer Veils. These are two of my favorite shades from them. This one is called Reverb, and it is a like bright shimmery blue. Super pretty, super fun. And these are kind of like a top coat. So what you would do is you would apply, say, your black, and then after your black is on, you would take your blue and apply it maybe like on the inside of your lips, but not the outside, to make like a fun, you can do a lot of really fun effects with them. The other color that I have here is Thunderstruck, and it's like a gold shimmer. And what I do with this one is New Mexico United, our soccer team, their colors are black and yellow. So I'll wear the black from Kat Von D, I'll do full lip, and then I'll take the gold and I'll apply it in the middle of my lips so that I have the black and yellow for the team. But I pretty much only ever do that if I go to games, which obviously I haven't done in a while. But anyway, so these are some of the brands that I like, some of the tools that I like, and some of the stuff that I think you ought to check out if you want to explore some funner shades or you're just looking to expand your makeup repertoire. These are things that I would highly recommend you check out. Let me know if you do, and let me know if you like anything. I will leave you a few links in the description box so you can check out some of the stuff that I mentioned and some of the stuff that I highly recommend. If you guys want to see more of stuff like this, or more makeup videos, or have anything in particular that you would like to see more of, please do let me know, because I'm always down for suggestions, guys. Always down for suggestions. I might not ever get to them, but I'm always down for suggestions. I do try to keep the channel focused on art, but as we say, makeup is art, y'all. Yeah, it is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great, great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.